Another song that this one is actually a project. This one's gonna take me a minute to get through. CK has an album out titled Emotions. Now, CK, one of those artists who have come out, who have been probably one of the biggest Nigerian artists in this past decade. Let's look at between 2015 and now. This past decade, he's been one of the biggest Nigerian artists. He's taken he's actually kind of held the flag for Afrobeats, and when we talk about where Afrobeat is today, we cannot take out of the equation how important Love Nwantiti and Emiliano have been to getting our Afrobeats to the world, like with the coming up of TikTok and social media and all of that. I mean, and the pandemic period and all of that, 2020, 2021. I mean, CK, you could not put on your social media, and CK was in everywhere. So, I mean, that cannot be taken from him. One of the biggest Afrobeat artists we've had in the past decade, in the past 5 years, 10 years. So he released an album titled Emotions. This must have been last week? Yeah, last week. And I actually didn't get to it because I had not listened to it, and I wasn't in a hurry to listen to it. to be honest with you. And the thing is, before this album was released, I was speaking with Sam, who is the founder of Afrocritic media company, and we're on his space together. Towards the end of the space, he was asking me, CK is going to release an album. What is it going to be like? And some of the things I mentioned there are kind of evident in this album. So what did I say about what to expect? I think so vocally, CK sings nasally, like he sings from his nose, right? From like nasal singing. That's what it's called. Like they went, yeah. That all that is nasal. I cannot imitate him. I don't know how he does it. It's actually unique to him. He's able to do it. Now, for someone who have been involved in music, singing, choir, and all of that, usually you infuse that nasal to maybe you're trying to hit a high key, or you're trying to put a certain emotion in the song. It's not necessarily how you sing. It's kind of one of the things you add, right? It's kind of like the spice. It's not the main dish if you want to be like recognized like a singer and all of that. But he's been able to do it and do it well. I mean, he's like I said, one of the biggest artists out there. The problem with that is this: if you're going to sing that way, you need to then be, what's the word I'm looking for? You need to be flavorful. You need to add flavor. There has to be something dynamic about how you do it, right? And that's where the problem with this album Emotions is. 12 songs, 35 minutes. This song, in few words, felt like a long playlist, a long SoFi playlist that almost put me to bed. Non-inspiring, on nothing, I don't want to say spectacular, nothing exciting, nothing inspiring. It was just dull. And all I could think of while listening to this album is, how is it that we're as an industry, Afrobeats, Nigerian music industry, we're still frowning about using songwriters? Because I'm saying to myself that if there is no way anyone that had any that has been in music for any reasonable period of time listened to this album and felt this was okay. I don't know how that was possible. I could not listen to him sing that style of singing. Not even, let's even think about whether, what he was singing about, whatever. It was just hard to listen to that specific style of singing for 35 minutes. You've got to do something, my bro. And let me say to people real quick, songwriting is not just about the words. Incredible songwriters are also great with putting melodies together. They can help you add some sort of dynamic feel to your music, to your song, so that it doesn't sound, it doesn't sound eventually like annoying, like I don't want to hear this anymore. And the thing is, there are other artists that have very distinct voices as well, like he does. But I don't feel like that for Akon. Akon has a distinct voice as well. Not the style of singing. He's got a distinct voice, just as CK does. But I don't listen to Akon and I'm like, oh my God, I want to turn this off, or what is this? What is he doing? T-Pain also has a very unique voice, but you don't get that. His music doesn't instill the same emotions I'm having right now when I listen to CK. We need to start getting serious about using serious songwriters. Like, I'm not saying go find somebody off the street to help you write a song. It's not just the words that are being spoken. It's someone that can help you produce an album. Like, someone that can help you listen to a song and tell you, you cannot have 10, 12 songs of this. The casual listener, I mean, I don't know what other people feel. I haven't seen what the general I feel of the song is from people, right? But my ears are just are too trained for me to listen to this and just be like, okay, I cannot let this go. We need to do better. This is, and I think this is way beyond just CK. As the industry, we need to do better. And I just want to quickly get off CK here because this album wasn't it. It just felt, again, like a long SoFi playlist. I think, and that's even an insult to the SoFi playlist, because those ones kind of, they get you in a certain, they calm you and you're able to either read, for people who need music and all of that to read. But this was even below that, because there's a dynamism to the playlist. Will have different artists, different the songs will have different texture, and even the singing will have different styles and all of that, right? It's not just one artist, right, giving you even if the artists know what they're doing, they can deliver. But it was like chalk. It's like a nail on how did they say? It's like nail on a wall. You see that sound? That was what this album felt like to me. And I kind of, some of those songs I just had to listen because I needed to be able to listen to the full thing and then give you my take on it, right? I needed to be informed enough and not just come out and give some, coming from ignorant about the full scope of the album, right? I needed to listen to the whole thing. And I tried and I did. And it was, nothing caught my attention. Even like just, like sonically, even on the, let's say on the music side, like I just hear a good melody. I'm like, ooh, what is that? Nothing. Like, there are times when the songs, the music is able to catch your attention. Like I remember this song from 2020 or during the pandemic that a lot of people were listening to. I don't know if you guys remember this song by this guy called CJ. The song titled Whoopty. If you guys remember that, oof. I don't know if you guys remember that song from the pandemic that everyone was dancing to. The guy, the rapper from